Welcome to this session of Designs for Learning. My name is Staffan Selander. I work at the Stockholm University with a research group called Designs for Learning, or Didactic Design in Swedish. I would like to introduce and welcome you to some reflections about how we can understand learning and teaching, of course. But how can we understand learning in different kinds of situations, and how can we study learning? So I'm going to offer you a perspective that we have developed during the last 7-8 years in our research group with lots of dissertations and articles and so on. So this is an introduction, and hopefully you can find some interesting aspects for your own work as well. I would like to start with some just historical notions about this. The first one is, when formal education started in Sweden at the end of the 19th century, there was a big change from what we call Lancaster systems or tutoring systems into the classroom setting. And this is a painting. I think it's wonderful. It's a painter who paints his sons, and they are playing school. And what is important in a school? It's a desk where the teacher usually stands. It's a book where all the knowledge is. And it's a stick, which is like the old skeptron. It's a right to talk, but also at the time it was an instrument for punishing. But this is a kind of setting we have had for 100 years from now. And suddenly we are in a totally new situation with new devices, digital media, which changes our ways of communicating in society, and also our way of learning, our ways of learning, and how we understand learning and assess learning. So it's about this I'm going to talk. 100 years ago, or more than at the end of the 19th century, was a huge change from peasant society to the industrial society. And very much of our understanding of learning is rooted in the industrial society. Now we are at a change to a new kind of society. It's called post-something, or post-industrial, post-modern, late modern, call it what you want, information society. But there is a change, and there's lots of uncertainty. But at the same time, how can we understand learning in a society that is changing from one system to another system? In economy, in politics, in ideology, in culture. So this is what I would like to talk about. And to do this, I would like to start with some reflections about sites for learning. So the basic questions we're going to discuss here is, which sites of learning are we focusing on? And what teaching and learning activities are we going to study with this perspective? I would like to take a rather informal learning situation. This is from a favela in the northeast of Brazil, outside Fortaleza. And it's the only schooling they have is 2 hours every Saturday, when organization, some kind of religious organization, is coming here, organizing food and some kind of teaching activities. And one of the teaching activities, you would call it perhaps sport. This is capoeira, and the guy is trying to help these young guys to defend themselves, but also to get some kind of self-confidence. Normally, we don't think of this as a learning situation, but it is a learning situation. This is more our view of what teaching and learning is about. We have a teacher, we have lots of resources, and we have students or pupils who understand what are going to happen here. And it's very well organized, and they can behave, and they can cooperate, and then lots of things. However, I would also like to say something about how do we organize the pedagogical environment. These are 2 cases. One is rather typical Swedish classroom, and the other one is from Ross School in the States. Of course, the Ross School has lots of resources, but just think of what does it mean to have a library or not, to arrange the classroom or the room where you're going to learn in one way or another. And if we go into a study classroom, we can see that the way we organize the classroom, what we have on the walls, what kind of signs we have, says and tells us a lot about what kind of activities are going to take place here. But we are reaching at totally new environments here. This is an introductory course in physics at MIT, where we have a teacher. And teacher still is very important, but digital resources and group work. And it's about this that we're going into now in all different kind of levels in our school systems, from preschools up to university level. Still another thing is this Operation Theatre at Gustav Janum in Uppsala, created at the end of the 18th century. And it has an Italian origin, but what you could do here is you could lay a body and you could show it to a public. And the public was standing and looking. And then it was used in medical education, so the candidates could stand there and look what was happening with the body, and someone took out things or made an operation. How does it look today? It's like this. This is a modern operation theater, and we have at the right side the experienced physician, at the left the candidate, and we have nurses who are specialized in different things, in anesthetics, So what's going to happen here? This is also a learning environment, and the learning environment is not about reading books, it's about who am I in this situation? What am I supposed to do? What am I allowed to do? How do I show? What can I expect from the others? And when they are talking and when they are doing this operation, they actually teach and learn not only by talking, but by touches, gestures, places in the room. So communication is ongoing with many different kind of semiotic resources. And that's one aspect I would like to enhance or underline furthermore later.